My name is Diana Yanni and I'm a proud Australian Egyptian. And together with my friend Anthony Gabriel, we are delighted to welcome you all to this incredibly special event. Before we commence, may I please ask for your attention as we open with a traditional welcome to country.
We begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we gather, the Bunurong, Bun, Wurrung and the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung Wurrung people. We pay our respects to their elders past and present, and we extend that respect to all First Nations people joining us today.
Thank you, Anthony. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem, followed by the National Anthem of the Australian Republic of Egypt, performed by Marina and Colter.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing. Advance Australia fair. بلادي 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 لك حبي وفؤادي بلادي 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 لك حبي وفؤادي مصر يا أم البلاد أنت غايتي والمراد وعلى كل العباد كم لنيل من أيادي بلادي 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 لك حبي وفؤادي.
Thank you, everyone. On behalf of the Australian Egyptian Federation, under the auspice of the Consulate General of the Arab Republic of Egypt, it is our honour to welcome you all to Queen's Hall of Parliament to celebrate 75 years of diplomatic relations between Australia and Egypt. This is a milestone that honours friendship, partnership and a shared history. Today we celebrate two amazing countries and the relationship between them. My own grandparents arrived in Australia in 1968 from Egypt. Like many Egyptian migrants, they came seeking opportunity, stability, and opportunity for their children, grandchildren, and now their great-grandchildren. I stand here today deeply proud of my Egyptian heritage, but equally grateful to call Australia my home. My friends often joke that I'm a fused Australian Egyptian. It is not unusual to find me watching the Aussies play Test cricket while eating a bowl of molokhia.
And my story mirrors the same. My uncle, one of 8 siblings, was the first to migrate to Australia in the 60s also. One of 8 siblings, the rest of them moved to Australia within the next 20 years, with my family migrating in 1988. I am shaped by both cultures. I'll never forget being asked in primary school to bring a dish to a class party, and specifically asked to bring fairy bread. My dad tried to convince me that a basbousa would be better, but I wanted to fit in. We had no idea what fairy bread actually was, or where to get it. We had one car, and my mum worked in the afternoons, so off we went on foot, 3 little girls, the youngest of us 5, to find this magical fairy bread. Shop after shop, and nobody had it in stock. It seemed we covered most of Malvern, Caulfield, and Elsternwick on foot, roughly 3 hours of searching, until finally one kind lady explained to my dad what it was and how to make it. In that moment, putting together the magical yet very simple ingredients and components of fairy bread, we became Australian. We are rooted in the warmth of our Egyptian heritage and growing in the great opportunity of Australia today. Today is not only diplomatic, but deeply personal for many of us in this room. It is now our honour to welcome and acknowledge our distinguished guests joining us today. Please hold your applause until the end. Our special guest, His Excellency Ambassador Nabil Habashi, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs for Migration and Egyptians Abroad, His Excellency Mr. Haytham Mokhtar, Consul General of the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Honourable Ingrid Stitt, Minister for Mental Health, Ageing and Multicultural Affairs, the Honourable Ewan Walters, Member of Parliament, Member for Multicultural Affairs, the Honourable Richard Welsh, Shadow Minister for Jobs, Industry and Industrial Relations and Shadow Minister for Manufacturing and Innovation, Mr. Paul Stevens, Director of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. We also welcome government representatives, diplomats and consuls from a number of countries and religious leaders. We also acknowledge Dr. Samir Ibrahim, OAM, President of the Australian Egyptian Federation, members of the Australian Egyptian Federation Committee and community leaders, our valued partners, donors and sponsors. We welcome you all.
To begin our formal remarks, please join me in welcoming a respected leader of our community and the President of the Australian Egyptian Federation, Dr. Samir Ibrahim, OAM. He is a senior psychiatrist and has a special interest in healthy relationships and family support programs and developing programs against violence. In recognition of his expertise, Dr. Samir was elected as Secretary and then Co-Chair of the Family Section of the World Psychiatric Association since 2014. Dr. Samir was awarded an Order of Australia Medal for his work in mental health and contributions to the Australian Egyptian community. Please welcome Dr. Samir Ibrahim.
Thank you very much for this nice introduction. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Australian Egyptian Federation, it is my honor and privilege as the President to welcome you all to this celebration. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we gather today, the Wurundjeri Wurrung people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my deepest respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to First Nations people joining us today. This land has been a place of gathering and storytelling for countless generations, and we are humbled to continue that tradition today. I'm especially pleased to welcome our honored guest from Egypt, the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Arab Republic of Egypt. I would also like to extend my warm welcome to all representatives of Victorian government, the federal government, and the opposition. I welcome all members of the diplomatic corps and visiting dignitaries. Your presence here reflects the strength and warmth of the bond between our two nations. We are also grateful to our sponsors who supported this event. We are grateful to our ongoing support and recognition of the Australian community and the contribution that it makes to the social, cultural, and economic life of this country. We are honored to have amongst us today some of the Australian Egyptians recipient of the Australian Medal and many young, successful professionals and business people. Today, we come together to celebrate a truly remarkable milestone, 75th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Australia and Egypt. 75 years ago, our two nations formalized the relationship, built on mutual respect, shared values, and commitments to global cooperation. Since then, this partnership has flourished through trade, education, cultural exchange, and the enduring contribution of the Egyptian-Australian community to the fabric of this nation. From the banks of the River Nile to the shores of the Yarra, our people have found common grounds in their aspiration for peace, prosperity, and progress. This milestone is not only a celebration of diplomatic ties, it is a tribute to human connections that have deepened across generations. For 75 years, our nations have worked side by side in trade, education, cultural exchange, shared commitment to peace and to cooperation. This relationship has allowed generations of Egyptians in Australia to learn from one another and to build bridges of understanding and to create new opportunities for both our people. I want to take this moment to sincerely thank the beautiful colleagues of mine, the Australian-Egyptian Federation, our beautiful volunteers and the committee members. Your dedication and countless hours of work and your unwavering belief in our community are the reason we are here today. And to all Australians, Egyptians, you have helped to preserve our heritage, promote our culture, support new generations as they make Australia their home while remaining deeply connected to Egypt. As we celebrate 75 years of diplomatic ties, we also look to the future with optimism and ambition. The friendship between Australia and Egypt is not a matter of history, it is a living partnership, constantly renewed by our students, entrepreneurs, artists, families, professionals, and especially by communities like people gathered in this room today. May the landmark Jubilee be a reminder of how far we have come and to be a springboard to the next chapter of cooperation, understanding, and shared success. Thank you all for being here today to share this special occasion with us. Welcome, and please enjoy the rest of this celebration.
Thank you, Dr. Samir. Our next speaker is Mr. Paul Stevens. Mr. Stevens is a Senior Career Officer with the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade and was High Commissioner to Sri Lanka. He has previously served overseas as Australia's Ambassador to Sweden, Deputy Head of Mission in Thailand, and earlier in his career at Australia's Permanent Mission to the United States in New York and in Brazil. Please welcome Mr. Paul Stevens.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And I'd also like to acknowledge Dr. Samir Ibrahim, OAM, and thank the Australian Egyptian Federation for organising this important event on such an important landmark occasion. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Wurundjeri and Bunurong peoples of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to any First Nations people present here today. I also acknowledge our distinguished guests, in particular, His Excellency Ambassador Nabil Habashi, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Immigration from the Arab Republic of Egypt, His Excellency Mr. Haitham Mokhtar, Consul General of Egypt. There are also many other distinguished people here, so I'd just like to acknowledge all dignitaries, parliamentarians, ministers, and of course, friends of Australia and Egypt. It's really a privilege for me to be here joining you in commemorating the 75th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Australia and Egypt, a milestone that reflects decades of friendship, cooperation and shared endeavour. In April this year, Her Excellency the Honourable Sam Mostyn, Governor-General of Australia, visited Cairo and met with His Excellency Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, reaffirming our enduring commitment to high-level engagement and collaboration. Australia's embassy in Cairo, established in 1950, was our first diplomatic mission in the Arab world and remains one of our most significant, reflecting the breadth of our trade and diaspora links and multilateral interests. Our shared history is also marked by sacrifice. More than 4,000 Australians who served in the First and Second World Wars lie at rest on Egyptian soil. Today, Australian Defence Force personnel continue to serve in the multinational force and observer mission in the Sinai, supporting the Egypt-Israel Peace Treaty, a commitment we have upheld since 1982. I note that Australia's Major General Michael Garraway currently serves as Force Commander of the multinational force and observer mission. Our bilateral relationship is strengthened immeasurably by the Egyptian diaspora in Australia. In fact, over 60,000 people reported Egyptian ancestry in Australia's 2021 census. Their contributions enrich our multicultural society across politics, business, academia, and the arts. Among them are distinguished leaders, including the Honourable Dr. Anne Ali MP, Minister for Small Business, International Development and Multicultural Affairs, the Honourable Peter Khalil MP, Assistant Minister for Defence, and Justice Dina Yahia SC of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Their leadership reflects the strength of our shared values and the success of Australia's multicultural nation, and in particular, the Egyptian community here in Australia. Egypt stands as a cornerstone of stability and leadership in the Middle East and North Africa, with influence that extends well beyond its borders. At the nexus of Africa, the Middle East and Europe, Egypt occupies a uniquely strategic position. Australia commends Egypt's commitment to peace and stability. Egypt has played a pivotal role in mediating the Israel-Hamas conflict, facilitating humanitarian corridors, enabling the evacuation of foreign nationals from Gaza, and providing critical medical assistance to thousands of evacuees. Equally, Egypt's efforts to address the crisis in Sudan through hosting refugees, supporting humanitarian operations, and advocating for dialogue underscore its enduring dedication to regional security and humanitarian principles. On behalf of the Australian Government, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Egypt again for assisting with the evacuation of Australians out of Gaza and Sudan. Australia and Egypt share a common interest in promoting and safeguarding global stability, peace and prosperity. We recognise the importance of constructive engagement and bridge building across diverse interests to foster security, development and mutual understanding. Earlier this month, the world celebrated the official opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, in fact on the 1st of November, a landmark achievement that reflects Egypt's rich heritage and its vision for the future. This extraordinary institution overlooking the pyramids of Giza is now the largest archaeological museum in the world, housing thousands of priceless artefacts that tell the story of human civilization. When Governor-General Sam Mostyn visited the museum in April before its official opening, She was deeply impressed by the scale and ambition of the collection. Her visit underscored the cultural ties that bind our nations and Australia's admiration for Egypt's enduring cultural legacy. I also wish to extend my warm congratulations to Professor Khaled El Enani on his historic appointment as Director General of UNESCO, the first Egyptian and only the second African to lead the organisation since its founding in 1945. His election is a proud moment for Egypt and for Africa, and it highlights Egypt's global leadership in education, science and culture. Australia looks forward to working closely with Professor El Enani and UNESCO under his leadership to advance peace, knowledge and cultural understanding worldwide. As we mark this 75th anniversary, let us look forward with optimism and ambition. Together, Australia and Egypt will continue to strengthen our friendship, deepen our ties and work collaboratively to advance peace, stability and prosperity in our regions and across the globe. Please join me in celebrating 75 years of partnership and the many opportunities that lie ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens, for that important speech. Our next speaker is the Honourable Kathleen Matthew-Ward, Member of the Victorian Legislative Assembly. She is the State Member of Parliament for Broadmeadows and has been since 2022. Please join me in welcoming the Honourable Kathleen Matthew-Ward.
Thank you so much, and it's such an honour to be here with you today. To begin, I acknowledge the Wurundjeri and pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and any First Nations people here today. I also pay my deepest respect to our community leaders and our religious leaders and elders who are here today, and I thank you for the important role you play in our community. A very special welcome to our guest of honour, His Excellency Honourable Nabil Habashmi, Egyptian Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Egyptian Expatriates. It's a great honour to have you here on this very auspicious occasion. My good friend, His Excellency Mr. Hatham Mokhtar, Consul General of the Arab Republic of Egypt. It's wonderful to see you here as well. We've met together here many times, and it's wonderful that we've brought together today. There's so many of the consular corps here too, and so many good friends. We have His Excellency Doğan Işık, the Consul General of Turkey, His Excellency Mr. Wajid Hashmi, Consul General of Pakistan, who we met just last week here too as well. His Excellency Tokura Farura from Japan, His Excellency Sushil Kumar from India, the Consul General of I can't read my own writing, Switzerland, sorry. Emanuela Erb, the Deputy Consul General of Britain, Una Lewis. And we have Councillor Jamil Hakim here, wonderful to have you here. His Honourable Bruce Atkinson, former Minister here. I think I saw Richard Welsh come in as well. And so many important members here. The State Director of DFAT, Paul Stevens, and it was a great summary you gave of our relationship with Egypt, and particularly the federal engagement we have on peacekeeping and the importance of the region there and the importance of that relationship with Egypt. I thank you for that. I think there's probably lots of important people here that I've missed, but those who I've seen as I walked in, it's so wonderful to be here with you. So many distinguished guests, and such an honour to have you here in the Parliament of Victoria. I also, of course, acknowledge the Chairman of the Australian Egyptian Federation, Mr. Samil Ibrahim. It was wonderful to hear you speak as well, and I'd love to talk more about the important work you're doing. It's really important work. And all of your committee members that have worked hard to bring together today. We know that diplomatic relations between countries are so very important, and in the current climate, more critical than ever. It's a great privilege to be with you today celebrating our Diamond Jubilee together. 75 years of important diplomatic relationships between Australia and Egypt, a milestone that reflects the strength, resilience and enduring friendship of our two countries. And an honour to host you in this beautiful place, the home of democracy, the Parliament of Victoria. It's such a wonderful building. We caught up a couple of months ago to bring this together, and it really is really special to have you here. It's such a piece of our history, and I know it's nothing like the built history of Egypt and everything that you've brought to the world. So it's wonderful to have you here. This is probably modest in standard, but it's certainly a place we're very proud to have you in. Our state is made up of a vibrant tapestry of cultures, languages, faiths, abilities, and experiences, and our Egyptian community are a thread in that rich tapestry. I really enjoyed hearing your story. I've got friends of Egypt background as well, and I think the fairy bread analogy is quite funny, actually. And I think today, I hope that we've come a long way where we could celebrate your traditional food and appreciate that. Whenever I visit schools, I talk about the importance of keeping your mother tongue and making sure we're very proud of all of the languages we speak, all of the faiths in this country, and that we celebrate them all and we don't make people eat fairy bread because it's really quite disgusting. But anyway, our Victorian Egyptian community has made an indelible mark that cannot be understated. And you've given so much to the world as well as Australia. The history of Egyptians in Australia dates back to the second half of the 1800s with the arrival of the Great Cameleers. Permanent migration came later, and the first Egyptian migrants arriving in the late 1940s. Since that day, our Victorian Egyptian community has thrived and contributed to so much to our state, our nation, and our shared history and our economy. With two-way trade between Victoria and Egypt now totalling $218 million annually, we share common interests in agriculture, education, water management, and cultural exchange. Victoria is proudly home to one of the most culturally diverse societies. We come from more than 300 different ancestries, speak 290 different languages and dialects, and follow almost 200 faiths. Diversity is at the heart of Victoria's heritage and identity. And as a proud representative of Melbourne's North, it's easy to recognise that our strength lies in the respect and celebration of our differences. And it was truly beautiful to hear the national anthem. I actually don't think I've heard it sung so well before by anyone, so and wonderful to hear the Egyptian one as well. Over 14,000 Victorians share Egyptian ancestry. Their influence extends across the state and has long contributed to our thriving multicultural society, making significant social, cultural and economic contributions to our state each and every day. I want to thank the Consul General for bringing us together today. The Egyptian Consulate, like all of our consulates, plays a vital role in strengthening the close and long-standing ties between Egypt and Victoria, fostering connections that span culture, education and diplomacy. The Consulate provides invaluable support to the Egyptian community in Melbourne and across Victoria, from consular services to cultural program that preserves and celebrates Egyptian heritage, just like today and the recent celebration of the inauguration of the Great Egyptian Museum, the Grand Egyptian Museum, which I'll have to go and see. It sounds incredible. My father-in-law was in Egypt during the Second World War, and there's this wonderful photo of him in front of the pyramids, and I'd love to take my family back there and see so much of your beautiful country. Led with distinction by the Consul General, Mr. Hathim Mokhtar Ibrahim, the team demonstrates remarkable dedication, diplomacy and professionalism in everything they do. And we've spoken about the importance of setting up a Parliamentary Friends of Egypt group to further strengthen the important ties between our great nations. And we've had with the Parliamentary Friends of Turkey and Parliamentary Friends of Pakistan group, those relationships are really important and we enjoy them a lot. So we'll do that too. I again thank our guest of honour, His Excellency the Honourable Nabil Habashmi, for gracing us with your presence today. I'd also like to extend my gratitude and appreciation to the Australian Egyptian Federation for championing a common voice for all Egyptian Australians and for their dedication to sharing the rich cultural history with fellow Australians. I express my sincere gratitude to the Egyptian Consulate General and Australian Egyptian Federation for bringing us together today, and to the Victorian Egyptian community for your resilient support and everything you've contributed to our great nation. The Allen Labor government is dedicated to strengthening our inclusive and harmonious society, and it's a great honour to celebrate our shared milestone with you today. May the Egyptian-Australian story continue to thrive for many generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear member. I will tell you this, you must make your Egypt trip happen. I took my family there for the first time in 30 years last year, and even as an Egyptian, it blew me away, so you will love it. Now, it is now time to invite a great friend of the Egyptian-Australian community. It is with great pleasure that I invite Your Excellency, Haitham Mokhtar, Consul General of Egypt in Melbourne, to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. It's not a speech, it's very short remarks and recognition. His Excellency Ambassador Nabil Habashi, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Egyptians Abroad of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Honorable Kathleen Matthews-Ward, Member of Victorian Legislative Assembly, State Member of Parliament, Broadmeadows, Your Excellency, Mr. Richard Welsh, Shadow Minister for Jobs, Industry and Industrial Relations, Mr. Paul Stevens, Director of the FAD Victoria State Office, Professor Samir Ibrahim, OAM, President of the Australian Egyptian Federation, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we come together to celebrate a significant milestone, 75 years of diplomatic relations between Egypt and Australia. This anniversary stands as a testament of decades of friendship, cooperation, and mutual understanding. Allow me in my short speech to recognize and express my sincere appreciation to the Australian Egyptian Federation for their great work and tireless efforts in organizing this important gathering, and for their continued dedication to strengthening the bonds between our two nations. Thank you, Dr. Samir Ibrahim. Thank you, Dr. Magdi Ramzi, and all the great members of the Australian Egyptian Federation. I also would like to express my utmost gratitude to the esteemed members of Parliament of Victoria for helping in making this event come to life, especially for the great support provided by our dear friend, the Honourable Member of Parliament of Broadmeadows, Kathleen Matthews-Ward. Thank you, Kathleen, for always being there. It's now my privilege to introduce our esteemed guest of honor and keynote speaker, Ambassador Nabil Habashi, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Expatriates of the Arab Republic of Egypt, who has traveled from Cairo especially to be with us on this special occasion. His presence is a strong symbol of Egypt's commitment to advancing our partnership and engaging with the Egyptian community here in Australia. Please join me in welcoming Ambassador Habashi.
Honorable Kathleen Matthews-Ward, Member of the Victorian Legislative Assembly, State Member of Parliament, Broadmeadows, Your Excellency, Mr. Paul Stevens, Director, Victoria State Office, Your Excellency, Mr. Richard Welsh, Shadow Minister for Jobs, Industry and Industrial Relations, Honorable Members of Parliament, dear Professor Samir Ibrahim, President of the Australian Egyptian Federation, distinguished representatives of the Australian Egyptian Federation, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to stand before you in Melbourne today as we celebrate a milestone of enduring friendship, the 75th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the Arab Republic of Egypt and Australia. Please allow me first to extend my deepest gratitude to the Australian Egyptian Federation for its dedication in organizing this Diamond Jubilee, and to the Parliament of Victoria for so graciously, for three quarters of a century, our two countries have built a relationship founded on respect, constructive dialogue, and shared interests. Diplomatic relations were formally established in 1950, and since then, our partnership has evolved from formal representation to a broad practical cooperation spanning politics, trade, education, culture, and people-to-people links. This year has been particularly significant. Egypt had the distinct honor of welcoming to Cairo the Honorable Mrs. Sam Mostyn, the Governor General of Australia, whose visit marked an important step forward in our bilateral ties. Her Excellency's presence in Egypt was a vivid reflection of Australia's long-standing friendship with my country, and it provided an invaluable opportunity to reaffirm our shared commitment to closer cooperation, not only at the governmental level, but also between our peoples, institutions, and businesses. The strength of our relationship is most vividly reflected in the Egyptian community in Australia, a proud and dynamic group that has made remarkable contributions across a wide range of sectors, including education, medicine, engineering, business law, public services, and the arts. These proud members are not only active participants in Australia's social and economic life, but also living ambassadors of Egypt's values, culture, and heritage. Their achievements, sense of belonging, and commitment to both their homeland and their adopted country stand as a lasting bridge of friendship and mutual respect between our two countries, and indeed between the peoples of Egypt and Australia. Today, our collaboration continues to expand. Trade and investment between Egypt and Australia have grown steadily in recent years, covering diverse sectors such as agriculture, education, mining, renewable energy, and tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, Egypt's remarkable achievement in attracting $47 billion in foreign direct investment in 2024, ranking 9th globally, highlights its growing role as a gateway for international investors. Australia, as a partner with strong expertise and capital, can play an increasingly significant role in this landscape, particularly through investments in Egypt's social economy zones, including the Suez Canal Economic Zone. Egypt's strategic location at the crossroads of Africa, Asia, and Europe provides unparalleled access to global markets. Moreover, Egypt's network of free trade agreements with the European Union, African Continental Free Trade Area, the Middle East, and West Asia creates unique opportunities for investors to expand their regional reach and benefit from preferential trade terms. These advantages, combined with streamlined procedures in the free zones and a dynamic business environment, make Egypt an ideal platform for Australian companies seeking to deepen their presence in the Middle East, Africa, and beyond. Looking ahead, Egypt sees great potential in intensifying its cooperation with Australia in several priorities, such as clean and renewable energy, sustainable tourism, higher education, vocational training, agriculture and food security, as well as people-centered cultural exchange. We welcome deeper private sector engagement and encourage Australian businesses to explore the wide range of investment and partnership opportunities that Egypt offers as a gateway to the broader region. Your Excellencies, as we mark this anniversary, let us also reaffirm the human values that bind our nations: mutual respect, openness to dialogue, and a shared commitment to prosperity and stability. It is my hope that the next chapter of Egyptian-Australian relations will be characterized by more regular high-level exchanges, expanded trade and educational ties, and even stronger links between our communities. In closing, allow me once more to thank the Australian-Egyptian Federation for bringing us together today and to express appreciation to the Parliament of Victoria for its generous hospitality. To our Egyptian community in Australia, your presence here and your daily contribution enrich us all. To our Australian partners and friends, Egypt looks forward to working with you to turn the promise of these 75 years into tangible benefits for our peoples. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for those important and inspiring words. Our next speaker is the Honourable Natalie Hutchins, Minister for Government Services, Minister for Treaty and First Peoples, Minister for Prevention of Family Violence and Minister for Women. Please join me in welcoming the Honourable Natalie Hutchins.
Thank you, everyone. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we're all meeting and to say how absolutely pleased I am to be here today and how special it is to have the Deputy Foreign Minister of Foreign Affairs here joining us, and that is extremely special in this place. Also, to all the diplomats that are here and also to the Consul General of Egypt. But I want to do a special shout out to Samir Ibrahim for your leadership and your work in community. Just to let you know, as your local Member of Parliament, I see the work that you do, and I'm extremely thankful, you and your team, for what you do in lifting up our local families, and it's much appreciated. So thank you. Rather than talking about trade and the great relationships between Australia and Egypt, I just wanted to give you an insight about growing up in Australia in a place called Moonee Ponds that many of you would know. I grew up in the streets of Moonee Ponds playing everything from cricket to riding bikes to rollerblading and that during the 70s and 80s. And in our street, we had an Egyptian family, we had a Syrian family, we had a Lebanese family, Greek and Italian. And how do I know all of this? Because those kids that I grew up with became some of my best friends and taught me about cultures and insights that I would never have had an opportunity had they not been living in my neighbourhood. My youngest brother, always obsessed with food, went from household to household as the street judge on food, and particularly loved going in for some food after school with our local Egyptian family. And nevertheless, he ended up growing up and becoming a chef and loves cooking Middle Eastern food, to be honest. So it's those friendships that have now continued to grow. All of those friends that I played with on the street and learnt their values and their customs from now run businesses here in Victoria, are now leaders in owning their own accountancies, in owning their own businesses, in being doctors, and I still have them as part of my friendship group. And I think that is the one important thing I wanted to leave with you today. Do not underestimate the absolute part of fabric of our society that Egyptian culture has been embedded here in Victoria. And I'm really proud to still have that family as very close friends, but to be making more friends in the Egyptian community. And I know the seat that I represent in the outer western suburbs of Melbourne has one of the largest Egyptian communities living there out in Taylor's Lakes, Taylor's Hill, Caroline Springs, and of course Sydenham. So thank you for gathering here today and celebrating, and happy 75th anniversary. And I hope to get to know you all better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Woo. Thanks, Anthony. Thank you, Minister. As to all my fellow Egyptians, never underestimate the power of a bowl of molokhia. You just heard it here first. Our next speaker is the Honourable Richard Welsh. He is a representative of the North Eastern Metropolitan Ward and Shadow Minister for Jobs, Industry and Industrial Relations, and Shadow Minister for Manufacturing and Innovation. Please welcome the Honourable Richard Welsh.
We don't want a diplomatic incident with a flag. Yes. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to Your Excellencies, the Ambassador, Consul General. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Thank you to all the community leaders that are here today and taking your time out and joining us for this really special occasion, and also to all the representatives from all the other diplomatic corps. Egypt is clearly doing something right diplomatically for the number of other diplomats that have turned up for this celebration today. So congratulations to you. 75 years is a remarkable period. It's a period in which you go through a couple of generations of relationships, different leaders, different diplomats. It's a period which only survives if you build up substantial reserves of trust in that relationship. But in some ways, we might ask ourselves, where to from here? 75 years, we've built a lot of trust. We have a lot in common. We have shared each other's cultures, each other's food. We've shared a little bit of each other's histories. But there is further to go. And maybe 75 years marks a very good opportunity for us to think about what the next 75 years will look like. Now, in terms of Egypt, what we do know, as has been pointed out, geographically, it is an incredibly unique situation, being at the crossroads of so many trade routes. Whether you want to go west to North America or to Europe, east to Asia, south to Africa. What an incredible opportunity. And of course, what Egypt has been incredibly successful at doing is attracting capital to transform its infrastructure. This is very, very worthwhile investment, and I've seen in other countries when this level of investment takes place, transformation genuinely does take place. It seems to me that Australia and Victoria and Egypt have a great opportunity to support each other's success and be part of each other's success. We know that we have strengths in education, we have strengths in agricultural technologies. We should share them. We know that you have great strengths in minerals, great strengths in culture, great strengths in tourism. We should embrace these things. This is a great place to start. 75 years, let's call it a courtship. Let's move on to the next level and take things further. I congratulate the whole community, because it's not just, of course, an economic contribution that the Egyptian-Australian community make. It is obviously a cultural and a social contribution that you make also. Whether it's in your faiths, in many faiths, your love of family, I think particularly in the commitment to education that the Egyptian-Australian community have. How many surgeons, doctors, physiotherapists, I think it's completely disproportionate to any other community in terms of the skills and energy that you bring to Australia. So I thank the community. It's 75 years of a formal relationship, but we know that we've got much further to go together. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Member, and thank you to all of our speakers for their wonderful words. As we reach the conclusion of our event, it is important to acknowledge and extend our sincere thank you to the Australian-Egyptian Federation Committee and to the Consul General of the Arab Republic of Egypt for making today possible.
We also extend our sincere thanks to Dr. Colin Hope and Dr. Gillian Bowen for their invaluable contributions to inspiring and advancing the study of Egyptology in Victoria. Their dedication, scholarship and leadership have enriched our understanding of Egypt's remarkable heritage and continue to guide new generations of learners. We would also like to thank our sponsors for their generous support, and to our dedicated team who worked hard and made this event possible. We also extend our gratitude to the team here at Parliament House, AV, guest services and the catering team.
Now, as we conclude our formal event for today, please enjoy some entertainment from the amazing Alexandrites and some light refreshments. Thank you very much, everybody.
برضاك يا خالي لا رغبتي ورضاي خلقت صوتي